I'm about to piss a whole lot of black people off with this post, but I don't care, because the truth is the light. Why is it that we demonize people like Clarence Thomas and we venerate people like Benjamin Crump? One of them is considered one of the most brilliant legal minds in our country over the last 30 years, and the other one has barely any command of the English language.
Struggles to piece a sentence together and to say basic words that a lawyer should know.
He cannot pronounce simple words like decomposition. Yet we demonize Clarence Thomas and we venerate Benjamin Crump. I tell you, I yearn for the days of attorneys like Charles Hamilton Houston, the guy who was the architect of the legal strategy that ended Jim Crow in the South. He also taught the first black Supreme Court Justice, Thurgood Marshall, at Howard University. Or people like Johnny Cochran. People like that we could respect, who we could be proud to point to. Instead, we have a lady on the Supreme Court, Ketanji Brown Jackson, who when she testified before the Senate committee, couldn't tell us the difference between a man and a woman. Yet we uphold her. We say, that's the type of person you want your daughter to be. The only reason she said that was for political reasons. She wasn't being honest. We all know she knows the difference between a man and a woman. Black folks, we got to do better. We have to change this mindset that you have to be left-wing. You need to be progressive. All progression is not positive. And when you have a Supreme Court justice who in public, during a hearing, tells you she's not a biologist and therefore she can't tell the difference between a man and a woman, I don't know if I want her judging on vital constitutional issues. Y'all have a good day.
This brother's absolutely right, man. And I'm in agreement with him 100%. I think the real issue is that a lot of these women out here, they're cowards. A lot of them. We saw it, today, and maybe I might discuss it later today. But, even with the WNBA, you had a coach who is a woman who said that it may or may not be okay, or she's not qualified to say if it's okay, if, a biological man should play sports with women. These women are cowards, man. And there are so many people out there, with this cowardly thinking, this cowardly mindset. And to be honest with you, progressivism, feminism, liberalism, it's leading folks straight to hell. You know it, I know it. And the fact that you have people out here now saying that, oh, I don't want to be around white people. I don't want my children, to be reared up or raised, or have white friends, so forth and so on. Like it's just, fashionable to say just hateful and racist things like this. Could you imagine white people saying, hey, I don't want my kids, around, black folks. I don't want my, I don't want to hire, black people, so forth and so on. Could you imagine that? Those people would be doxxed. They'd lose their jobs. They would, they'd be called everything but a child of God. You know it and I know it. But yet you have people out here, making these crazy statements. People are inherently evil. There are going to be some good black folks, some bad black folks. There's some good white folks. There's some bad white folks. But you judge people not by how much or how little melanin they have, but judge them by the content of their character. You get a chance to meet them, you judge them then. You don't look at them and say, oh my gosh, white, nope, steer clear. Or, oh my gosh, black or Asian or Mexican, steer clear. No. But for whatever reason, we got a population of people in our country that is pushing this narrative. And it's got to stop, man.
One of the things I started finding really fascinating is this trend that black people were talking about. Black people need to stop hanging out with white people. I'm 60 years old, veteran of the United States Army. My parents did the best that they could to send me to the best schools, to the best neighborhoods. They wanted to be upper middle class. And here's an interesting point, folks. The upper middle class areas that my parents were in, there weren't a whole lot of black people. In fact, when we lived in Minnetonka, I think we might have been the only 6 black people around Okay. As a matter of fact, at Hopkins High School, when I was there in '84, started off at Eisenhower, then went to, we merged Eisenhower and Lindbergh, and it became Hopkins High School. There was a handful of black people there. So this whole thing about black people need to stop hanging out with white people, that's what gets them hurt. But number two, we don't even know what happened with Nolan. We don't know what happened out there. And I'm not taking anything away from the parents, because my son died on July 31st, 1999. So if you think for 1 second I'm talking shit about his family, you're wrong. But we don't know what happened. And maybe they are circling the wagons. Maybe something nefarious did happen and they don't want it to come out. We don't know. We may never know the actual truth. But this idea that, well, you know, black people need to stop hanging out with white people because it's just not good, especially in the South. Holy, are you serious? And here's what I find really interesting. You got a bunch of black people talking about black people just need to stop hanging out with white people. You can't trust them. White people, you can't trust them. What the f- are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? When, you know, every major holiday, almost every weekend, you look at the majority of, you know, the shootings, the stabbings, and the craziness that goes on, it's black on black. Again, I go back to my original sentiment: judge people based off of their character. Don't just paint people with this wide sweeping brush, because if that's the case, no one should hang around anyone. Seriously, especially large groups and swaths of black folks, because when that happens, crazy things tend to happen. Not all the time, but a good majority of the time. We saw it. Things happen, block parties and parks. You know, they have cookouts and things of that nature going. Next thing you know, they done, you know, someone is pew-pewing the place up. We saw it with the Juneteenth events and things of that nature that happened, you know, about a month or so ago. You know, I mean, we got to stop acting like this, man. And if you don't want to be judged like this, don't judge others like that, man. Treat people how you want to be treated. Love your neighbor as you would yourself. We got to stop this, man. This isn't helping. It's hurting us, man.
Good morning. Now Don Lemon, yes, Don Backdoor Lemon is coming for Officer Tatum. He's coming for Officer Tatum. He had to insert himself into the narrative. Why? I don't know. I guess perhaps he is taking up for his friend D.L. Hewley. This is really coming off as effeminate.
Yeah, but both of them are very effeminate dudes. Have you not listened to them?
To me. You see, because many women do that. They'll be like, "You not gonna talk about my friend. I got their back." That part ain't catch it. Now, Don Lemon, how come you had to put your 2 cents in it? All you had to do was shut your mouth and sit behind your desk and do your little podcast. My friend D.L. Hewley said he's not even a real cop. I mean, I don't know anything about Officer Tatum. Then why are you speaking on him? You and D.L. running around here talking about Officer Tatum not a real cop. He used to be. He used to be. That's an honorable career. You're not a real journalist. Remember, you got fired from CNN, that part. So why are you so prideful? Because you're no different than me, Officer Tatum, or anybody else sitting behind a desk with a microphone. You are a podcaster now. Hello. There is nothing more unattractive than a messy man, that part. Let me get my coffee. All right. Now, y'all check out what this dude had to say about Officer Tatum on his little podcast.
Matters. Now, look, I can't tell you exactly what Brandon Tatum's motivations are here, and I'm not going to pretend that I do know them. I have some ideas, but I do know this, and I want you to hear me very clearly here. If your goal is to help these teenagers, this strategy is not working. This ain't it. This ain't it. If you're trying, you think you're trying, maybe you genuinely think you're trying to help them while you're enriching yourself.
Ooh.
In my opinion, it is making.
I think this is, I'm going to get to another clip. I got to get to D.L. Hewley. Don Lemon, listen to me clearly. And everybody that's watching this, shut your mouth. There's no enrichment in this. I'm taking a lot of blowback over this. And my family got to watch people lie on me on the internet all the time.
Don Lemon is the typical oppressed, always a bridesmaid, never a bride, victim mentality black man. Emasculated. And I really mean emasculated.
In
Like to
every
say
shape,
that
way,
Officer
form, or
Tatum
fashion.
hate the black people. No, he don't. He's holding us accountable, and I appreciate that because I'm doing the same thing. Yeah,
Yep.
people like Don Lemon and others like him will throw around words such as, well, the white man is bad, but you're married to a white man, bruh. You lay with a white man, bruh. Bruh, you should have just sat this one out.
That is the MO of these liberals, though. They're the main ones talking bad about white people, but they will be married, they will be in relationships, so forth and so on with white folks. I don't understand that. And to be honest with you, it makes me wonder about the people that they're in relationships with. How do you hang out and be with someone who would get on TV nationally or get on a podcast and talk trash about you and talk bad about your people like that? There's absolutely no way I could do something along those lines.
That part. Let me tell y'all something. The more y'all come for Tatum, the more God gonna elevate him. That's it. Because he's doing the Lord's business. Something y'all never know nothing about because y'all heart nasty. Y'all too busy out there race baiting and race raging and pushing a lying, demonic thing out into the algorithm, accusing Tatum of monetizing off of these boys. But yet and still, everybody's sitting behind their desk with a microphone monetizing. Hypocrites. Y'all trying to stop somebody from getting to the truth, but y'all talking, pushing that narrative, that part. Y'all don't want people to know the truth. That's why y'all own him like white on rice, ham on burger, peanut butter on jelly. Leave that man alone. Let him be great. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the story of Nehemiah when Nehemiah was out there building that wall and Sanballat and Tobias kept coming for Nehemiah. Meet Sanballat and Tobias. That part. But what was Nehemiah's prayer in Nehemiah 6:14? Remember Sanballat and Tobias. Yeah. And judge them according to their...
Shout out to Speak Your Voice First, man. She cooked with this one, and she's absolutely right. Everybody's out here and they have something to say. The one thing I will say, and I appreciate, when it comes to Tatum, is the fact that he went down there. He went to speak to the boys. He ain't sat out there in grandstand speaking to mushmouth crump. He didn't go out there and grandstand, and all this other kind of stuff. He is doing investigative work. He's decided, hey, let me go down here. Let me walk the path that Nolan walked. Let me talk to the people that was with him, which I find very, very weird that the Wells family and Crump have still, up to this point, have not had a conversation, but they got a lot of things to say about these boys, but they hadn't actually had a conversation with them. I got a problem with that. If you want the truth, why wouldn't you have conversations with the people that he was closest to? I don't understand it. It makes absolutely no sense to me. None.
So you mean to tell me nobody notices the exploitation in this Nolan Wells case? Nobody notices how quick the parents, or should I say the mom, ran to civil rights activists Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump to get on this case?
Absolutely. If she wanted the truth, hire an investigator. Hire a private investigator of some sort and have that person dig and follow up with the police. Hire a actual criminal lawyer. Do that. Not a civil rights attorney who's known for ambulance chasing.
In the death of their son. How is it that Nolan was reported missing on July 4th? His body turns up on July 6th, and you immediately think to go to social media and civil rights activists instead of, I don't know, trying to investigate the situation on your own or relying on law enforcement to find out the facts and have proof of what actually happened. Did anyone else research how many incidents or how many deaths occurred on July 4th in Mississippi? However, this is the only one that made headlines. All I'm saying is I have too many questions and need way too many answers.
She's absolutely right, man. I'm with her, man. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts on any of this? I know I ran my mouth a whole lot, but you guys pull up to listen to me and watch, what we're presenting. So I do appreciate you guys, man. Hit that like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. And as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But Thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, it can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. Then the Lord hit my chest, kicked air from my breath, put power in my step.